Hey, Trip Zero here, and I've got a particle photon with a humidity and temperature sensor. This guy right here, that's a DHT22, and this is connected, the particle photon is connected up to this battery shield made by SparkFun, and below it is a big giant, I think 3000 milliamp hour battery, and this thing is pretty dumb. It wakes up every 5 minutes. While it's sleeping, it draws about 3. There, it's going to wake up and connect to the Wi-Fi, send something, and then turns off. Sends all its data over MQTT, telling the broker to persist it. So in case nobody's listening, whenever someone wants to listen, they'll get the last publication, I guess, of the data. And so what is this for? Well, this is going to go in the bathroom, and I'm going to use this with my Casa smart switch, which is this guy right here. And if you heard that, it just kicked on the fan here in the bathroom. So there are probably switches that do this. Kick on the fan if the humidity gets to a certain point. However, I don't think that's the smartest way to do it. The smartest way to do it, in my opinion, is to think about where condensation happens. It's going to happen on the mirror, possibly the walls, the window, and anywhere else in the bathroom, really. But it all has to do with dew point. Now, dew point is the temperature at which water will start condensing. It will turn from gas form to a liquid form. And at normal, of course, humidity, relative humidity at the dew point is 100%, always. So you could do it just based on humidity if I didn't care about or think about where condensation happens. Condensation might only happen in the window. Why is that? It's because the temperature outside is what's causing the dew point, is what's causing the air inside might be warm, and it may only be 90%. But when that air comes in contact with the window, then it starts to condense, because the water or air, as it lowers in temperature, can only hold so much water vapor, if that makes sense. So the lower the temperature, the less amount of water that air will contain. If it's cold outside, the air will condense around the windows if humidity gets up to 100% at the window. It may not be 100% wherever the sensor is, if it's a smart switch with a humidity sensor in it. So that's why I don't think it's perfect. Of course, I guess maybe the smart sensors don't just kick on at 100%. Maybe they get 60 or 80. Maybe there's a happy medium. But the other thing to take into consideration is that air doesn't always stay where you want it to. It could go throughout the house. So humidity could start climbing up. Here's my ecobee thermostat reading 49% humidity here. Humidity could happen really anywhere in the house. And so what I've come up with is a way you can calculate dew point using the weather outside, the temperature outside, the temperatures inside, and multiple sensors throughout the house. So the sensor here, the sensor that I'll put up there in the bathroom, any other sensor that I can find that will support humidity, and then I'll be able to make sure condensation is controlled throughout the house. Because I'm using the temperature outside, I can also get forecasted temperature. So I can predict hours in advance if there's going to be a condensation event. And that's what I've done here, is I'm calculating the dew point, the current dew point inside, the current dew point outside, and predicting up to an hour in advance using the hourly forecast where or when the condensation event will happen. So I've got alerts telling me when. So that is how I am managing condensation, not only in the bathroom, but the entire house. I can kick on the fan in the bathroom anytime that there's a humidity condensation event anywhere in the house, so long as I've got a sensor nearby. So pretty cool. Yeah. If you have any questions, leave them below. Hope that gives you an idea of how a smarter way, I think, to control condensation in your home. It'll be a lot more eco-friendly. Hopefully the fans, only going to kick on if there's a real condensation, or 60% humidity may not mean condensation anywhere. Depends on the dew point in the various locations in your home. So you wouldn't want to kick on the fan. I think that's a dumb way to do it if there's not going to be. Now, humidity control is another thing. So this will do condensation control, but humidity control is another thing you may want to do. And that is another story. All right. Questions, leave them below. Trib Zero out. Have a good one.